Hello and what is up everybody, Thunderbob here, and I am checking out some more Diablo 2 Resurrected. The 2.4 PTR patch is back on the public test realm, though there are some changes, the most dramatic of which I think is the fact that Summon Druids can now summon all of their little furry friends at one time. So you can have 5 wolves, 3 dire wolves, you can have your bear, you can have a spirit and a vine for quite the pack here. And the damage had already been increased on the previous PTR patch, but the fact that you can summon all of these at once dramatically increases your damage. It's still not what I would call like S tier, but it is a pretty large increase in damage and just a lot more pets to absorb damage. So what we're going to do is we're going to run through probably Chaos Sanctuary and just see how they function, and we'll look at the gear, look at the skills and the stats, and we'll get going. So this build is primarily all based around the summoning tree. I maxed Raven, Spirit Wolf, Dire Wolf, and Grizzly. Raven did get reverted from the previous PTR. They had lowered the amount of hits it did, I think, to 5, and you had to cast it frequently, but the damage had been higher. It seems like they reverted that. It's back to doing 53 hits, though the damage, I think, is lower than it was before. You got all your summons here maxed out. I got 1 point down here. These are great 1 point wonders now. With 1 point and my plus skills, every time it eats a corpse, I get 26% of my health back, or 26% of my mana back. That's not too shabby. I did go with Heart of Wolverine, so that's maxed here. You'll probably get more friends in multiplayer by going Oak Sage, but I want to try to max out my pet's damage. The reigning points I'm using in the the shapeshift tree, but 1 point in lycanthropy for the extra duration and health with my plus skills, and then went down to shockwave. It's just a nice, like, if you're not teleporting, if you're just like taking on a big pack of guys and you want to help stun the enemies, shockwave's a nice utility skill to use. But mostly I'm going to be summoning. I don't know if I'll even shift. If I was doing like Bale and we were just sitting there waiting for the packs, then I'd probably go Werebear form. But for Chaos Sanctuary, I don't know if I'll do that. And yeah, let's see. The gear. Using Beast for that aura. Quite nice. Jala's Mane, Enigma, Mars Kaleidoscope, Spirit, Sandstorm Trek, 2 SOJs, and Reacted Mesh. Frostburns, you could probably get something better there. That's just what I had on this character. Bunch of summoning, skill, charms. Just ridiculous charms in general, actually. So this is a pretty high-end build right here. And as far as stats go, I put just enough strength for gear and the rest in vitality. And yeah, we're going to get moving here and check out Chaos Sanctuary. And I do not have great FCR, to be honest. This character is not based around that. So I got really, really slow teleport. But you'll notice things are dying pretty decently, including my vine. Those vines I can never keep up for whatever reason. And like here, I could jump into my bear form and just kind of stun some guys. So I think they did lower the time on that stun, if I remember correctly. And keep in mind, this is player 1. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. I forgot it carried forward with me. This is player 8 difficulty. I was going to say, this is kind of slow for player 1 difficulty, but no, this is player 8 difficulty. Alright, it's not too... Before, I don't know if I could have even gotten through these enemies in player 8 difficulty, to be honest. Lost a couple wolves there. My bear is still going strong, though. There's also a substantial amount of changes that were done to the Amazon. I've got another video that I demonstrate the changes to the Amazon. If you want to check that out, Ozon was substantially improved. And then I also want to do a video covering the changes to the Shapeshift Druid. I need to put a little bit more thought and time into that, kind of the gear and stuff. But I'm kind of excited to see how that works now. Let's see. Summon you, resummon you. Resummon you. Okay. Yeah, it's not the fastest thing in the world. The fact that it even works in player 8 difficulty is kind of like a testament to how much has changed, because, to be honest, this build in live Diablo 2 Resurrected was slow in player 1 difficulty with this same setup. And it's gone from being slow in player 1 difficulty to slow in player 8 difficulty. So maybe, like, I wouldn't say effective, but, like, it is killing in player 8 difficulty. Would I want to do this without the sick gear? No, probably not. But I think it's pretty crazy that it even works. And the Enigma is really nice just for grouping all of your summons up. And you can kind of telestomp a little bit, like how the Necro does it. Like if there's a particular enemy you want to kill, you can teleport right onto them. And they will, you know, they'll go at it for you. It's still kind of, I don't know if boring's the right word, but it's not super interactive. Even using the werebear and the stun, you're kind of just waiting for your dudes to kill stuff. And that's just, there's not, like, they tried to make it more reactive and more active by changing the ravens, but it just wasn't fun because you're just constantly casting the ravens. I'm not sure what they could really change to make it more exciting. Like, maybe if they made the ravens more targetable or something, or they gave you some other way to interact with the battlefield. Like, I'm kind of curious if anyone comes up with a good summon / elemental build. Like, I think it could work. And I don't just mean running like Windy Druid with all your pets out. I mean like focusing on pets. Kind of curious about that, if it would work. I just don't know if there's enough points. So many of the elemental skills take a lot of points, and you really need at least 60 points in this tree to be effective. So it's kind of a hard thing. I'm kind of surprised this is hanging in player 8 though. Even with this crazy gear, I was kind of expecting like player 1 to be a little bit of a slog still. I think I would not have to recast my Wolfies if I had Oak Sage. That's one thing. Let's all regroup up here. I think I'm going to have to like direct them because the problem is their damage is being spread out so much that they're really not being very effective. And these guys are not even like physical immune. If you ran into physical immune, I really don't have much of a way to deal with that right now. These ravens actually add a little bit of damage. A little bit. I mean, they're doing 4,000 per peck. Just gotta remember to, because now they last for 50 hits. It's kind of like I don't notice or I don't think about it, and then suddenly they're gone. I've been playing a bit less Diablo 2 lately. Like I want to say, 3 characters through hell difficulty and farmed a ton and was like, I did Ubers and stuff, and I kind of felt like I had accomplished everything I wanted to in the short term. And then when they announced the patch and changes and stuff, I don't know, it's kind of like turned off that I didn't want to play until that patch came out. So like I'm in this weird spot where like I really want to play, but I don't want to play until the changes have come into effect. So I will still probably jump into the PTR and do kind of some testing and stuff, but until that patch comes out, I probably won't be playing like hours and hours of the game. When the ladder starts, I do plan on starting several new characters. I'm thinking I'm gonna go hardcore actually for the ladder. Maybe make a Necro, or depending on how the Druid shapeshift changes go, maybe a Fury or Werebear Druid. Kind of waiting to see how that turns out, but so that's why I haven't been posting as much Diablo content. It's still like a game I love. It's probably my favorite game of all time, but I played so much of it after release for like 4 months. That is all I played, and then a couple of big games came out, and like kind of back to back they've come out. So I've been waiting. You know, I've been jumping on here or there, but it's mostly been Dying Light 2, and I'm playing through Elden Ring. If you want to see any of that, I got it on the channel. Cast these guys again. But I'll still be doing some Diablo from time to time, and then when the patch comes out, and especially when ladder drops, I'll be doing this as my main game for a considerable amount of time. And there's a physical immune. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna go ahead and just pop that. And let's kill the Infector. Oh, he's physical immune. I didn't even realize that was... Alright, that's gonna be difficult. Let me think if I got anything. Oh, okay. The dire wolves deal cold damage. So they're pumping out 2,000 cold damage at least. They're like, it could be worse. And I am just stunning everything in my path. And slowly but surely we will kill Diablo in player A difficulty, unless he manages to kill everything, which is possible because the resist on these guys aren't great. It's one thing that Necromancer has is the summon resist, and corpse explosion, of course. That one skill I think is the biggest difference between the summon Druid and the summon Necromancer. I wish you could just like park the spirits in your vine, because they always just wander up and get in the way and die. Like, what are you doing? How is this guy getting killed? That's because of this thing. This does have a whole lot of hotkeys now, because you got so many pets that you're resummoning. Okay. Let's go kill Diablo. Or something, I don't know. Alright, guys. Don't make me teleport on him. One thing I do like is these summons take a whole lot less mana than the Necromancer. Like, I've got a decent amount of mana, but I can cast these like all day. Like, I barely used any mana potions so far. And for player 8 difficulty, you know what? They're not doing half bad. If I had some way to cast amp damage, I guess I could rock like Adamus Scarab, and does that proc when you do Shockwave? I don't think it does. You know, I don't have my Ravens out. That would be a decent chunk of additional damage. And my Card Wolverine keeps dropping. And of course I lost my Mercenary too, but I didn't have any rejuves on me. It's gonna be a Cathan's Ring, or Seathun's Ring? Cathan's, yeah. Okay, yeah, I would say I am fairly pleased with how it's performing. Player 8 difficulty, Chaos Sanctuary, not the slowest run ever, not the fastest run ever. Just the fact that Summon Druid is able to do player 8 Chaos is pretty cool. I don't think this would have been possible before this change. And I'm not saying that this is like an S tier build by any means. I still think it's probably mid-pack at best, but I'm very happy that it's, you know, at least playable at this stage, and maybe I'll make one down the road after the patch comes out. But I'm gonna end the video here. I'll have a couple of Diablo videos up throughout the weekend, and if you like what I'm putting out there, please do like and subscribe. Thank you again for watching, everyone, and have a great night.